When you join the task force, do you go back and look at some of the cases they've already been studying? For example, Tic Tac and gimbal.
Absolutely. In fact, I've studied all of those in great detail. And I'm doing a new analysis since I've retired with the data that's available to the public on the gimbal video, and it's clear from the gimbal video that there are things in that are not typical of aviation vehicles.
Do you think you understand the physics of how those things fly? What's proposed?
No, I don't think I understand the physics of it. But what I do understand is they're flying in a way that we don't. There's something going on there that appears to be propellantless propulsion. Because we don't see exhaust plumes, we don't see turbulence wakes, and the other thing is we don't see matter around them change as it passes through the different media. Like the Puerto Rico video, for example, the thing flies right into the water with no splash, no wake, and it's moving about I calculated 74 miles per hour, and to move a thing that I estimate to be about the size of a basketball, 74 miles per hour underwater, under salt water, would take the power of two Learjet engines to do that and maintain it. You would see the water churning if there was that going on, but it doesn't.
Let me ask you this. We hear complaints about these videos are fuzzy. Why don't we have clear videos? We must have great sensors and cameras. The military has them. Why do we always get this fuzzy stuff? Is there a reason that some of these things might be fuzzy, a field around them or something like that, that would interfere with the ability to get a really close photo?
Well, so what's wrong with the gimbal video, for example? So the AppFlare, which is what the device is on the F-18 that was used to capture that, is an amazing piece of equipment built by Raytheon. And it captures really clear videos of F-18s, F-15s, Sukhoi 22s, you name it. It's captured great video. But when you look at whatever the object is in the gimbal video, it's completely saturated in temperature, meaning it's really hot. And so it saturates the camera so you can't see any details about its shape. And around it, even though it's really hot, around it is a region of really cold air. And that makes no sense either. You go from really hot to really cold, and then you have a bubble zone that you're now at ambient temperature like the clouds. And this suggests that something is creating sort of I don't know if it's a field propulsion, if it's just because it's so hot it's creating this turbulent region around it, but that doesn't make any sense physically. Now, I will tell you that from recent calculations I've done, if this device, whatever this object is further away than 8 kilometers, then it has to be at the temperature of the melting point of aluminum. And if it's further than 50 kilometers, it's at the melting point of steel. That's how hot it would have to be to show up this way in this sensor. So it's not a jet that's 50 miles away and we're getting glare off of it. That's not what it is.
Can they be, are there cases, basically, they're there, but they're not, you can't see it with your eye or with a camera?
Well, George, I can tell you that's actually happened to me personally, where we've seen things in the infrared cameras out at Skinwalker Ranch all around us, and then when we move the camera down, they're not there visibly. And that to me is kind of startling and bizarre. And there have been many incidences where, and I think the Puerto Rico one is a case where I don't think people saw it because this thing looks like it flies right between the cars on the road. Nobody reacts to it, but it makes me wonder if you could only see it in the infrared and not in the visible.